What's going on? What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Give me a one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Big overnight move. We'll let people trickle in here before I kind of dive in. Welcome back, Jimmy, Rumi. Yeah, big overnight run off that ceasefire news. Obviously, we were looking for longs yesterday. And we kind of did what I said that we probably would, which was we were in this consolidation, came down, took out previous day low, came back inside the range, and then once we purged this external side of the range right here, that's when you saw the move. So you kind of saw it play out right the last hour. I know, last live I had was like 2 years ago. I did one yesterday just randomly. Didn't even announce it, just popped on. Didn't plan it out, didn't schedule it. But yeah, welcome back. It was good to be back, honestly. Let's pull up the news real quick. So obviously we talked about FOMC meeting minutes this afternoon. That's outside of the scope of me taking a trade this morning. So it's just nice to be aware that you do have news this afternoon. Combine that with the idea that we've already expanded for the day. I'm going to be cautious as we're up here inside this, these projections as well. So we kind of got the move that I was looking for yesterday right at 6 o'clock when the Iran ceasefire was in the talks, in the works, right? So it's looking like I honestly think we're gonna rip. If the deal goes through and they actually do get peace in the Middle East, look at all these like failure swings, right? And then all-time high up here. So I wouldn't mind that. Anything to get out of this. Anything to get out of this, right? I want some one-sided action, please. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I think we're gonna get if the deal does go through. I think we're just gonna rip higher, and you're gonna see oil back to like the 60s, somewhere down here. Again, so huge overnight move on oil. I mean, right at open, just dropped on that news. So we're down like 18% on oil, and we were bearish off oil last night. At least I was, because of this candle 2 closure here on the daily. And you can see, right, huge drop right at the open for the new day. Gold had a nice spike. Again, not really. I mean, I guess I could be interested in longs on gold. It's just we swept out these highs up here. This looks like expansion, kind of like a little retracement right here. My volume's a little low. Yeah, I need to get a booster for my mic. I need to get a booster for my mic. If I'm being completely honest. These Shure microphones are like notorious for being kind of quiet. So I have to get like right up on it and like talk on it like this. Right? I have to get like right up on it. Not sus, I swear. Hey yo. Um yeah, silver same thing. So I'm mainly just interested in watching indices today. We can still get some more news coming out. Yeah, the thing is I have it cranked all the way up on my interface, like the microphone interface. And so it kind of sounds a little blown out, you know. And it's cranked pretty high. Yeah, the weekly. All these highs. And we talked about the monthly, right? People were asking about what's my long-term outlook. Long, right? I'm bullish. Um, High time frame POI right here. Even on the weekly, you had a candle two closure on this candle right here. So sweeping up this low. So there's your candle two closure. Candle three expansion. Hopefully candle four expansion into these highs up here. That would be great. If you go on the 4 hour, right, you can see that playing out here. Indicator paints it out nicely. Candle two. You have this sweep of the external range. Close back above right here. And if you're like a swing trader, which I'm not, you could have entered right here at like the 2 o'clock close. And held stop below here, right? But unless you knew that there was like peace talks in the works, you know, this trade might have taken a little longer to play out. But it just shot right up. But it's nice to see some familiar faces back in the chat. Again, I'll say it when we get closer to 9:30 of kind of how I view the market so far. Yeah, Taco Tuesday. It all lined up kind of perfectly for the longs. It just kind of happened. That's the thing about this market. You can get trade ideas, or you can have a direction in mind, but it's not going to play out until like the night of, because the Iran stuff is across the world, right? And so you're getting a lot of these moves overnight when I'm asleep versus in the mornings when we're awake here on the East Coast. So that right there, it's just kind of frustrating sometimes because the move you're looking for plays out without you, and you're kind of left to sit here and be patient. So I'm not gonna lie, these are some of the toughest conditions I've ever traded. In my like 4 years being a full-time trader, been trading since 2020, but didn't go full-time until about 22, 21. Do I trade ICT? Yeah, I trade the smart money concepts, right? But I traded the fractal model. So I'm really only using highs and lows. All right. Highs and lows. And then fair value gaps. That's about it. Imbalances and highs and lows. And then for entry, I'm using change in state delivery, right? Or order blocks. And I don't trade the reversal normally. I usually trade the continuation, right? So we let that, like for the weekly here, we let that reversal form. And then we look to trade the continuation off that reversal. So we need a swing point to trade away from. I am not in the lens, but I am friends with T Trades, and I've talked with AM as well. I know T better though. Maybe we'll do like a joint stream one day with a few other guys. I think it'd be hilarious to get like do like one time a month, get like 6 traders on a live stream, and just like shoot the shit, trade. I think that would be dope. So what would I look for now? So good question. We got a decent amount of people in here. Right now, in my opinion, the daily candle has already expanded, right? So if I was gonna look for longs, this looks kind of like exhaustion to me. And you can see obviously the daily range, last 5 days, completely blown through. So for me, I'm still bullish, right? I don't want to fade this move, right? I don't want to fade this weekly candle, right? We could get some kind of retracement, but for me, I'd want to see us come down and sweep out some of these failure swings down here on the hourly, right? Here, here, here. I want to see us come down, retrace a bit, maybe into this POI. And like that's like almost a percent move. You know, we're up almost 3.5%. So I want to see us sweep some lows before heading higher, right? And that's what's going to get me involved. So I'm going to be looking for maybe something on the 30-minute. For those who are kind of new here, I don't drop below the 3-minute for entry, especially in this market. I kind of incorporated that as we've been in this chop, right? Here in the daily chart. Once we get some kind of one-sidedness again, and a lot of follow through, we've been seeing a lack of follow through lately. Once we get some kind of one-sidedness like we were seeing here and here, maybe I'll incorporate the 1 minute again. But what happens is most people, they want to go to a lower time frame when they're seeing a lack of setups, right? But for me, I did the opposite. I try and stay on the higher time frames. I bump up a time frame to get clarity, right? So I'm looking for something basically like this to get involved. If we just open at 9:30 and just shoot higher, it's gonna run without me. And I'm not looking to fade my bias, right? Tagged blue means I'm bullish. Red means I'm bearish. It just kind of sucks that the move we were looking for happened overnight. So got about 15-ish minutes until the open. Do I use Tradevate? No, I use AMP Futures. AMP Futures is my broker. Yeah, David. A 1 hour fair value gap bounce. All you really see. I'm looking for this imbalance here. I mean, if you cut on regular trading hours, if I draw a line right here, we've gapped up pretty hard if you're looking at regular trading hours. So I would expect at least some kind of retracement into that gap to go higher, but you never know. These are volatile markets that are very news driven, and we could get some more news later this morning that causes the market to, retrace this entire move, right? So I'm not trying to sit in trades longer than I have to. You say C3 closure on M30? Yeah, off this right here. I just don't really have a bias on the daily for gold. I guess if you're using the Euro and GBP to get bias, you can see there's some SMT down here at these daily lows, right? But to me, it looks like it's still in this consolidation, right? These are still inside days when you're talking about this day, right? So in my opinion, it looks like we've just tagged the external high of this consolidation across the board. And you're kind of seeing some kind of rejection there. So I'm not really interested in gold. I'm more interested in the indices today. And honestly, oil. You would think with the peace deal that gold would go down, right? But we shot up. So this could be a liquidity grab just to go lower, these lows down here. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like if there's certainty in the market, shouldn't gold kind of go down? That's the fundamental side of it. But, who knows? I just trade the technicals. What's my favorite fractal model combo? My favorite are the... You're like, you can't trade them all. They can't all be your favorite. I like the 15-minute 4-hour, the 5-minute 1 hour, and the 3-minute 30-minute. Obviously, everyone likes quick money. So, like, the 3-minute, 30-minute moves the fastest. How do you get that little red dot over the cursor? It's this tool right here, demonstration tool. And you just hold Alt. I'm on Windows. You hold Alt and you can draw. But yeah, gold to me looks like this might be a sweep of these highs to head lower. We'll see though. We did respect this daily imbalance. I wish you could change the color of this, but maybe that's a new feature they'll add. Let's bump back over to indices. Thoughts on indices? Yeah, I'll go over it again here in a second. Basically, long story short, I think we're overextended. Or not overextended, but really just like the daily candle has already expanded, right? Without me. So this looks like some exhaustion from this move off the ceasefire news. So I'm still long biased, right? But I want to see something like this, right? I want to see us take out some of these lows that we put in. You have an hourly imbalance here. And it makes sense, right? With the regular trading hours, we're going to open up around here to retrace some of that gap up, right? And then go higher. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't want to trade in these, like, look at these 1 hour candles, just dojis, right? I don't want to trade in that. If we just consolidate all morning, I won't take a trade. But I want to see some kind of retracement to go higher. If we just run higher at open without me, I'm just not going to trade. I don't want to chase. I want to form some kind of swing point to trade away from up here. Who do I think is the top trader in the space? I don't think anyone's the top trader. I think people have good months, people have bad months. I don't keep up with like who is like popping, you know, who's viral right now in the space, who's getting all the likes and the attention. Like, it doesn't matter to me because it doesn't make me any money, you know? That's more just vanity metrics. I know guys who risk like 5 figures per trade, make like 6 figures a month, and they don't even have Twitter. Would I trade the retracement lower? No. I have a bias and I stick to it. I don't want to fade my bias because those retracements are usually lethargic. It can be high resistance, not as clean. I'd rather just wait for the retracement, let the reversal be put in, then trade the move higher, right? Like those quick moves, those easy trades are what I'm looking for. Yeah, metals. The only metals I really watch are gold. We could see a candle 2 closure on the 4 hour, right, off this low. And the problem is though, like, I'd want to see, we'd have to probably get a setup around 10 o'clock or later on the 15-minute for gold. And I'd look to target this high and this high. Do I trade invalidations? Not in this market. You kind of saw that happen yesterday. We had SMT at previous day high right here on ES, right here on NQ, right? Lower high. And we disrespected the 50% of that, right? So you could have traded short to previous day low and trade the weakest one, which here being a lower high was NQ, right? That was your clue that NQ was the weakest this morning or yesterday morning. 1 hour imbalance right here and look to trade that lower. But I was looking for longs, right? Off this candle 2 on the daily, right? We had a candle 2 closure off this candle. So I was looking for longs off here, 50% to get respected and then go higher, right? But we didn't get that. We swept the low one last time. So if you were in the stream yesterday, you knew that that's what I was looking for. And in a market where it's very clean and where it's one-sided and it's easy to read, right? The weekly profile is aligning, giving me confluence for my ideas. The daily profile is aligning. We're getting clean one-sided moves. That's when I might start trading candle 2, right? Or invalidations. But once again, man, it's cool to see people pop into the stream who were here a few years ago when I did these that are still interested in something that I have to say, right? So it's cool. Thanks you guys for stopping by. And if you enjoy the streams, make sure you drop a like and also subscribe so you get notified when I do go live. I'm trying to make it a regular thing. So maybe I'll do like a set schedule at some point, but right now, just having fun with it. Trying to post. Give you guys a heads up sometimes before I go live. So I like to kind of go live when I see there's either something interesting to talk about or we can get some setups, right? And I think it'll be interesting today, even if we don't push the button, to show you guys how I approach a day that's already expanded, right? Thoughts on prop firms? So my thoughts on prop firms, means to an end, right? If you have the skill set but not the capital, they're a good way to get capital and, you know, take that capital, build a personal account with it, because who knows how long prop firms are going to be around, right? It used to be the Wild West like a few years ago. It's kind of mellowed out a little bit, right? But use the prop firms as a tool or a means to an end to get the capital for your own live account. Because if all the firms get shut down with regulation or something happens, you have the ability to keep trading, right, with your own personal funds. And that should be the goal at the end of the day, right? Trading your own capital. Am I still in the same crib? Yes, but I'm looking to move out. I need more space. So let's see. We got 7 minutes till open. And like I said, I want to see something like this, right? There's not much going on right now. Oil down 18%. Okay, gold. Gold might give us a long setup based off this 4-hour candle, right? So we have 30 minutes until we get the new 4-hour candle, right? So we're in a POI, right? We're staying above the 50% of that. Just kind of pointing out things that I see off the bat. So like taking out this liquidity, right? A retracement is expected. You know, let price chill out before moving higher. I mean, even the 1 hour, we haven't confirmed this change in state delivery yet. We did kind of have this nice V-shaped recovery. So we need to close above here. Let me kind of look at the daily real quick. And you could also argue like, it's just kind of sketchy because it seems like we're in a consolidation and we took out the external high. But you could also argue like, hey, we got a candle 2 closure on, you know, Euro and GBP gold, right? So we could look for candle 3 continuation and carry that over to here. You'd be like, oh, this is actually strongest, right? Because we didn't take out this low, right? Some SMT there. So you can make the case for that. Makes sense to me. I just don't like how long it's taking to confirm this reversal, right? It hasn't closed above here yet. And now it just kind of looks like it might be in another consolidation, right? And we can kind of just keep expanding this range and keep, you know, chopping. Like, who knows? Usually I like to see it confirm within, 3, maybe 4 candles. So that's gold. How long have I been trading the fractal model? I want to say, so the way I trade, right, before I was trading using this indicator, right, T's indicator, was pretty similar already, right? I was using change of state delivery, pretty much just using highs and lows and fair value gaps. And if you think about it, a breaker is really just a lower time frame order block, right? So, I was already trading pretty similarly to T. And then when he released his indicator in his model, it's funny, I didn't even know that he had that, right? Until I went to create my own indicator using the same people he did. And so when I met with them about working together, my cousin and I were actually going to work on it together, basically trying to automate my system. I found out T had his own indicator, and I kind of looked into it for a bit to see like what their work was like, what their quality was like. And I realized, I was like, damn, this is pretty similar to how I trade, minus a few things, right? The things I weren't doing, I wasn't using high time frame candle closures. I wasn't waiting for those. And so when I kind of studied some more of his content, I was like, wow, we trade pretty similarly. Like, why pay all this money and put all this time and effort into creating something from scratch? Why don't I just adopt what he's already made? And so I kind of tried it out, liked it, been using it ever since. And that was middle of last year, I think. What's the indicator called? The fractal model, right? TTFM. There's a link in my description. You can get on there and check it out. But yeah, let's watch gold and let's watch indices, because I do like this 4-hour setup. I just am really curious to see how the 15-minute is going to form, because it doesn't look like it's in a hurry. Like, we've wicked this opening price right here. We've wicked that and came back in the range. So in my opinion, it looks like a consolidation. Do I use any other indicators? Really just this one. Shows me the sessions for the day, right? Asia, London. Just so I can get a nice little visual of what the sessions have done. It's going to be interesting to see how we open, though. And if you're talking about targets for upside, I mean, there's plenty. This high. I mean, all these swings, right? Kind of equal highs up here. These look like the next draw to me for upside. These two lines right here. And those are both weekly highs as well. Also a monthly high. The highest line is a monthly high. So clear draw to the upside. 9:30. Let's see how we go. Again, if it just spikes higher without me, no trade, right? No setup. Not going to chase. And there is like a little imbalance here on the 4-hour. 1 hour, which is this low right here. So again, we want to see some kind of retracement before moving higher. And if you look at the regular trading hours, you can see we've just opened up, huge gap up. So it makes sense to maybe retrace some of that or fill it in before moving higher. Hold on, I gotta tweet the stream link out real quick. Forgot to do that. While we sit here and let the volatility kick in. We're starting to see some downside movement, which is nice. What we want if we're gonna get a long setup. Um, boom. All right, just tweeted it. That's cool, man. We got 50 something people in here. That's dope. I think we were averaging 30 yesterday. Got 50 today. So I appreciate you guys. So off the rip, let me pull up my side-by-side chart. We're talking about weakest asset, strongest asset. NQ, or sorry, YM straight up, right? We have YM on the right, NQ in the middle, ES on the left. And this is what's on my second monitor, by the way. So I have two monitors, my execution screen, which looks like this, where I focus on one thing. And then I have a second monitor with this, right? And it looks like, just off the rip, you can see relative strength in YM off the open, weakness in NQ, and ES is usually somewhere in the middle, right? So it's looking like 10 o'clock is going to be our window to take a trade. We just dipped into that 4-hour imbalance right here, slightly. And one thing you'll notice about me is I like to sit on the higher time frames, right, until they give me a reason to drop lower. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Carson? You're just now joining us. We're looking for some kind of retracement off the open, which is what we're getting into these lows to move higher, right? And these highs are weekly highs as the draw, right? All these failure swings up here. It's kind of what I'm looking for. And if we're gonna get something like that from where we opened, like that's still like another % move higher, which we could do, right? But I think once we hit that, like I would be done. You know, I wouldn't be looking for anything else besides that. We've already expanded to the upside a lot. What's up, Juke? That boy's Zach. Where's everybody from? Country, state. You can just give me an area too. West Coast, East Coast, doesn't matter. Where is everybody from? Germany, Miami. A couple from India. 15 minutes from me. Cool. So basically from all over. I like Miami. I don't know if I could live in Miami. I'd probably live in Fort Lauderdale. Florida's just nice because of the taxes and the weather. Tajikistan. Cool. Gold not doing much. Yeah, it'd be fun. Miami meetup. But if you noticed, I got a nice little. I have a nice little thumbnail today. So I'm trying to up the quality of the streams little by little, right? No thumbnail yesterday. Had a nice thumbnail today. Who knows what I'm gonna have tomorrow? Depending on how we do today. Also, there's this little indicator like relative volume. It shows the previous like 20 days volume, averages it out, and it shows you like what percentage we are today. How close are we to that, right? So on average, the past 20 days, NASDAQ has traded about 534 contracts. Sorry, 534,000 contracts, right? We're about 44% there already, and it's 7 minutes into the open. But it's including this whole, right, from 6 o'clock overnight to now. Generally, if it's a strong day, you'll notice like we'll have low volume and it'll be a lethargic day, like just chop. But if we've done like half the volume before or by 10 o'clock, on average the past 20 days, then you can kind of expect like we're still going to have some nice moves maybe in the morning. I don't trade using volume. That's just another little tool confluence thing that like kind of gives me an idea of how the day might play out, right? Is there still juice left in the daily candle or is there not? Is it a low volume day? Do I have a private membership? No, but I did work one-on-one with some people earlier this year. I think Marco was in here yesterday, and I worked with him for about 8 weeks. Yeah, if you look at the daily range, right, for the past 5 days, you can see we're well past that. Like, for the past 5 days, we're up about 200%. You look right here, 205% past the average daily range for the last 5 days. And you can see that visual here, right? YM still up. NQ still retracing, which is what we want if we want longs, right? I want to see some kind of retracement to sweep out lows before heading higher. Inside this 4-hour imbalance here, I have another one here. But like I said, I'm not looking for shorts. So if it does just fall all the way down, I'm likely not going to be a part of it. I wouldn't be surprised if it does because we've been seeing like zero fall through on most of the moves. That would be a crazy retracement though. If we like opened up here, just retrace this whole move down. But I talked about it yesterday. This looks like a V-shape reversal, right? Imbalances on the way down that were created, imbalance here on the way back up, disrespecting these. We respected this imbalance. So it's looking like a V-shaped recovery reversal to head higher. I just hope we don't go back inside this range and just chop again. Like that would be awful. PSPs. I'm not sure what a PSP is. Only PSP I know is the PlayStation Portable. Yeah, London low swept. Asia low right here at this hourly imbalance. I mean, think about everyone who's long overnight, taking profits and whatnot. Yeah, war chop's the worst. If we can get through this, I just feel like we're constantly at war. Like, they never actually declare it like they should through Congress. It's just like we're just bombing people all year round. All right, let's repeat the 30-minute. I think for me, at 10 o'clock, right? Let's say we do put in like a a beefier down close candle like we are right now. I feel like the thing that's gonna get me long is if we put in a beefy candle, right? Sweep out its low. Let's say we come down here and put a low in. Right at 10 o'clock, we sweep that low, and you can maybe trade candle 2 higher. Otherwise, I'm not gonna wait another hour till 11 to put a candle 2 in, right? I could trade a candle 2 if it aligns. So we right around 10 o'clock, we need to be paying attention for reversal signatures on probably the 3-minute, right? Because if we're waiting for a 5-minute reversal, we're gonna have to close back above all these down close candles, right? And that's like 140 points. Like, it's not gonna happen unless we put in some kind of like green candle here, and then one more sweep, and then we can close above that high, right? Just kind of thinking out loud. Smart expansion for big retracement. Yeah, just very news driven. So I'm trying not to sit in trades longer than I have to. Because I've been slipped before. Luckily, it wasn't a lot of money, but I learned from the experience. I just don't want to fade the weekly or the daily, right? Candle 2 closure on the weekly here. Candle 3 expansion. Hopefully, candle 4 expansion. And if you're thinking about weekly profiles, Tuesday low of week, that's a classic expansion week. So that gives you bias for Wednesday today and Thursday upside tomorrow. Today could be one of those, consolidation / retracement days, and maybe we get a setup tomorrow. Yeah, we're in this 4-hour one here, but we have this big one here as well that we're pretty close to. I'd even feel better if we tapped into this hourly. The more we retrace, the more upside we can, the more of a move we can capture to the upside, right? If we retrace all the way down here, we get to capture all this, right? That's how I view it. It's like, oh, we're retracing without me. Like, I'm missing the move. It's like, no, we're setting up for even more of a move to the upside that I get to capture. Gold. Yeah, see, failure to close above right here. We wicked that. Now it looks like it wants to take out the low again. This 4-hour, it might not close candle 2. We'll see though. Oil's still just in this like range, right? From this 1 hour candle. I don't really trade these other ones, gasoline and the other. I really just look at them for SMT. Okay. Here's the side by side, right? You can see obviously why I'm strongest. And in my opinion, like we've swept London lows, right? Which is key time-based liquidity. Here on ES, here on NASDAQ. So if we do put in like a 30-minute candle 2 closure off this low, we close back above. That will let us confirm this series of down close. So something like this. Then I look for the continuation on the new 30-minute candle right at 10 o'clock to go higher, right? Why am I not tracking Wyoming at the strongest? I'm just waiting for 10 o'clock. That's also one of the things I'm trying to work on too is I've got the system down, right? I don't make the over trading mistakes. I don't oversize. I don't make those like sizing issues. That's all worked out for the level I'm at. Where I'm at now, the things I'm trying to focus on more is like choosing the right asset to trade, right? Because sometimes I'll be in the weaker asset when I should be in the strongest, you know? But you're never going to get it perfect. Like you could trade the strongest one, hop in, and all of a sudden it flip-flops on you mid-trade. And now NQ's strongest, you know? It just, you're never going to be perfect. But if you can just from the start choose the one that you think is the strongest, it's going to give you a higher chance of your trades playing out, right? If you're longing. And if you also want to short the weakest. So you also notice like once we like sweep an objective, right? Or hit a low, that gives permission to the other asset to now make its move. Let's look at daily for all these, right? What a move. What a move. Really just nothing to do yet. 10 minutes till 10. It's so funny because like these assets used to all move together, right? And now it's been like the opposite. It's like you'll have a relatively stronger one, a relatively weaker one, and yeah, you would get that when they move together. But you just have these mixed opens, right? Where one goes down, the other just goes straight up, and then ES is left somewhere in the middle. I remember you used to get clowned for trading YM. Like people would talk shit to you for trading YM, and now it's like, oh, it's like moving pretty clean now, or it's the strongest asset. People used to clown you for trading the Dow. Sometimes I'll peek at the Russell too, but that's few and far between. All right, so we're in this 4-hour balance here. Let's see what happens. Like I said, I'm looking for longs. I'm not looking for shorts. I'm going to stick to my bias, right, off the candle closures on the daily. And I want to align myself with the weekly. So once again, if we can get some kind of beefy candle like this and close down here near the low, we could do something like this, right? Open the new 10 o'clock candle, sweep the low for a candle 2 expansion, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking. And that'll also be a new 30-minute, so maybe I can get something on the 3-minute, right? Off these down close candles. Even better if it puts in like a little fair value gap here, and then we invert that once we reverse. Gives me even more confidence. So gold still not doing much. Yeah, I think indices are going to be our best bet. At least today. Now look at YM. Look what it's putting in. This upper wick. And I'm also paying attention like on the lower time frames. How fast, right? Or like how energetic is this downside move? You know? Like we've left a few imbalances here. Not really any on ES though. Until like maybe now this candle, if it prints one. But is it energetic? This, you know, sell off that we're seeing right here? Or is it slow and lethargic? Because if it's slow and lethargic, it gives me confidence that it's just a retracement to go higher, right? But if it's energetic and leaving, you know, it's displacing to the downside and leaving imbalances in its wake, that is telling me that it might not be a retracement, right? It could be expansion. So I need to see. That's kind of how I'm viewing price, and I need to see that reversal signature play out. I mean, we're at Big Fig 2500 around here, right? This is 2500. What's up, Burnout? Hey, Zach, I'm joining the live now, and I also use TTFM. Quick question. Do you take any trades after prices already reach the PDA or PDL? Yeah. I'll still trade. I'm just more cautious, right? We could open up real close to the previous day high or previous day low, but the daily candle hasn't really expanded that much yet. So I'll still look for trades. It all depends on, you know, the daily profile. Is it aligning with my bias? And if it does, great. That's extra confluence for my bias that day. Gives me confidence to enter position. And then has the daily candle already expanded, right? But I'm not one of those guys where it's like, oh, we've already hit previous day high or previous day low. Like, I'm not trading. Like, no, I'll still trade. It just depends on whether the daily candle has some juice left in it or not. And a few other factors. And we're down here at the standard deviations. I might try and add some music later on in the stream, like in the future. Let me know. Do you guys like playing your own music while you watch? Or do you care if I play my own? And don't worry, it's not going to be like poo shiesty, like rap. It'll be like something chill. Yeah, my cousin. Wait. My cousin just sent me a pic of him watching my stream. What's up? Old FEG intro. Yeah. I think that music is actually copyrighted. So all those videos are like got demonetized. That's the thing about streaming on YouTube. You can't play like any like mainstream music. It's all got to be like royalty free. Unfortunately. All right, give me we got a minute 30 till 10. I'm gonna go use the restroom. Come back. All right, let's get it. Quick peek at the side by side, the triple threat chart. Triple threat. All right, 10 o'clock. Again, I want to see something like this. Sweep this low for a candle 2 expansion candle, right? And we can maybe look to trade this on the 3-minute. If we go, and don't worry, like, you got to remember, you might think I'm just watching this one asset because that's what you see, but I have this chart on my other monitor that I swap between time frames as well. So try to keep tabs across the board. What is that? Right, so I want to see something like this. Sweep this old 30-minute candle to go higher, right? If we're going to get longs. And that would be a disrespect to this gap here as well. But to put it in perspective, like last month I took 3 trades. So I'm not a scalper. I'm not like probably the most entertaining person to watch. But I'm hoping like that's gonna change this month because we're getting the ceasefire news, and maybe we're back to this one-sided price action, right? With follow through versus being stuck in this nonsense for the past what? 160 days. As someone who does this full time, it's awful. Gold doing. Yeah. For gold, you need to sweep. We already swept this low, right? So you need to close back above um this series. As for everything else, I mean, 5 minute, not really seeing much. You know, for longs at least. 3 minute, we have some imbalances here, here, and here on YM. But again, I don't want to trade away from this swing without taking it, right? Like I want to see us come down on at least NQ, sweep it out. It'd be even better if we form some kind of S&T, like so. Because that'll give me confidence that a reversal has been put in. I don't want to lead the swing. I literally want to trade this exact candle that swept this high right here just to the upside. So I want to see this candle sweep this low, then go higher. Where am I from? I'm from South Carolina. Would I still consider trading? Yes, after a large expansion. I just need a swing point to trade away from, right? But also, I'm very cautious that we could just consolidate after expanding like this. But I like how we do have some targets above. Like we swept this high today, right? This little swing high right here. That could be all it needs to consolidate, get a new phase of price, which is kind of what you're seeing, right? We drove up into that high and been chopping, but we're kind of doing what I wanted to see if we are going to get a long setup, which was retrace at the open, take out some of these swing lows, dip into this 4-hour imbalance here. That could be enough to maybe send us a little bit higher. And we don't even need to take out these highs today. Like if I can just get a 2R on a 3-minute, like that's all I need. Trent was washing your car when me and my mom came to ask for a quote on her new car. Oh, sick. Wait. I'm trying to think when that was. Did y'all buy a new Escalade or something? Was that it? What's the best daily profile you consider? Personally, I like London reversals because when I sit down in the mornings, it's clear like, oh, we've made a clear reversal in London, right? And I can just look for the continuation in New York. And I can honestly maybe even get in on a 15-minute and just hold through the open. Those are like my favorites. But sometimes a New York manipulation is good too. Because if we're just like consolidating, it's pretty clear that we're just like consolidating in Asia and London. Like, and then New York will come, right? Sweep that one side of the range. And it's just obvious that you're going to trade. If we, especially like when we sweep the opposing side of your bias, right? So like what I'm saying is if this is your Asia and London session, right? And you're just consolidating. And then in New York, we come and sweep the low, right? And you're bullish for the day. And we sweep the low first. That just gives me extra confluence. Like, okay, great. That's pretty easy to catch too. Those are like my two favorite profiles. All right, so we swept this low. That's good. Haven't done so though on, right? Remember I talked about maybe getting S&T on ES. But like the New York reversals, those are kind of tricky. Because generally they don't align with like the daily profile, like the, what am I trying to say? Like if you're looking for the today to respect yesterday's 50%, you need that reversal, that New York reversal to happen, you know, in that T spot and respect that 50%, right? Honestly, if we can put a big beefy candle like this and then immediately close above it, I'll like that. But it's not looking like it wants to. Are they tweeting stuff? Let's see. Iran weighing Israel's response. Wait, see if I can copy this. Iran weighing response to Israel's ceasefire violations. It's kind of cool how like you can put the tweet on here and it tells you exactly where on the chart. Yeah, so if we can close above this right here. I'm not going to long that. I'm going to wait for that continuation to go higher, right? Even better if we close above and disrespect this imbalance here. Remember, I don't trade the reversals. Usually I want to trade the continuation. So I want to see signs that the reversal's been put in. But we do have SMT still at these lows. Can you see that? Where's my chart? The camera in the way. SMT here. Also, what quality is my stream in? Better be. Today, it better be 1440p. .1440p. Yeah, we're good. 1440p, 60 FPS.
Bet.
1440. Mm. Right, we're looking for this sweep to move higher. Let's get a close above there. And if you wanted, you could enter like at the close above here, right? You used to be trading this candle too, right? Me, I want to see us do something like this. Close above, create some kind of continuation, right? Maybe a fair value gap in here to go higher, right? I'm looking for something like this, little imbalance here. And then I would put my stop on this low, right? Once we closed above, right? And I look for like a 2R or something. That's what I'm looking for. I'll please zoom out. All right, nice retracement down. This just looks kind of messy. Thank God I'm not in that. You can see like how if we do just continue to chop, how annoying it is. That like you have a bias, right? You're looking for a move to the upside. It plays out like without you. And then when it's your actual window to trade, it just consolidates on you. So you're getting the expansion when you're asleep. Or just right, it just rips right when the new day opens. And then when you're actually looking for your setups in those time windows, it just chops. Like it's that's just how it's been. It's been annoying. And like most people, they get um frustrated by it, right? Which is understandable. But if you let that control you and you start trading because you're bored or you start trading because you want to make money, right? You haven't pushed the button in a while. Like that is just a recipe for disaster. Yeah, I want to see it close now above here within like this candle or the very next. Otherwise, like we need to put in that swing point down here. I mean, shoot, at this rate, we could form a candle 2 and maybe trade a candle 3 higher. It's not doing much in this new 30-minute candle so far. We're halfway through it. 14 minutes left. Yeah. And generally, I'll stream till like 11. I mean, all I'm trying to do is document what I do every single day, right? I'm not sitting here like acting any other way than I would if I was sitting here alone. I'd probably just be sitting here listening to music and just not talking, obviously. But I'm not trying to create some show or entertain in that sense. I'm just trying to document what my everyday looks like. And this is literally what I do from 8:30 ish to 11:30 ish. Yeah, consolidate. I mean, it's looking like that. We're still SMT at these lows right here on ES. We gonna get a clean setup one day, I'm telling you. Yeah, just nothing happens. Just take the L on the chin and come back tomorrow. If you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. Especially like when price action sucks. Like if you push in shitty conditions, probably not gonna end well. Better to recognize that you traded in shitty conditions and just come back tomorrow. When I say shitty, I mean just like your setup's there or it's not, right? Are these conditions your setup thrives in? For me, the way I trade is continuation. I need one-sided expansion generally. So consolidation is not really where my system thrives. So if you know what kind of market conditions your system thrives in, you know when to push the gas and when to lay off, right? What was I looking up? Oh. Like, let me see if I can pull up a markup from one of my clean trades. Yeah, bro. This shit was so clean. Hold on. Oh, wait. I won't make it the whole screen. For those of you who don't know, I use TradeZilla to journal my trades. But yeah, let me show you this trade real quick. This is a recap. This is the last trade I took, and this was on March 17th. Okay. This is the very last trade I took. Got 3R on the trade. You can see here, it was a 15-minute entry, the 4-hour model. London reversal profile, right? London reversal put in. Super easy to read. Just hopped in before the open. Traded the continuation. I got out before 9:30 even opened, really. 9:30 opened right here. So if we go look at the markups I drew, right? C2 closure. Looking for a bullish bias the next day right here. C3 continuation. 1 hour in the T spot. Clean 1 hour swing formed right here. I'll just make this bigger. You can see. All right, London reversal daily profile. Traded this move up higher to equal highs. Like, it's just clean ass setups, right, on the hourly. And if we go look at the 15-minute, or the 4-hour, right, because I use the 4-hour 15-minute model. Traded this candle 3 continuation, right, after the 4-hour candle had put in that low of the day. London reversal. Traded C3 to previous day high. I'm literally marking this up every single time I take a trade. I'm marking up these trades, how I did it top down. And here's the executions, right? Those equal highs, previous day high. Got in on a 15-minute. You can see I actually almost got stopped out. I put my stop at the bodies instead of the wick. If you're going to do that, got to be willing to get stopped out more, but you get a better RR. This is like a 5-hour trade or 5-hour trade plus, right? Stop should have been down here. I put it at the bodies, but it still worked out, right? Just almost was a 90% drawdown at one point. Got in at the closure above this opening price, and it just ran, right? And I just scaled out fixed 2R, half at fixed 2R. scale it out. The remaining 2, like I said, 5 contracts. So, or 6. 2 here, so half off at fixed 2R, more off, I think, at the standard deviation projection right here. And then I think I got wicked out at 9:30 open as it came down first. Then it punched through my previous day high target. So all in all, it was a 3R trade, right? Is what I actually realized. So, so I'm getting hyped. That's the kind of move I want to be in, right? Not something like this, when it's just super obvious. It just jumps off the chart at you. The structure's super clean, top to bottom. The day's already expanded, right? So I hope that helps of like the kind of setups I like to trade, That's what I'm looking to take advantage of. Is stuff like this, where it's just clean, top to bottom, runs. So that's TradeZello. That's how I use it pretty much. Tag my mistakes as well. And I can go in the reports and look at it. But if you want to try it out, there is a link in my description of this video you can click on, get 20% off, or just use the code ZACH, and that'll get you 20% off as well. And that's ZACH. But that's like the last trade I took, and that was March 17th. So 1, 2, 3, basically 3 weeks ago. Yeah, not doing much since we got down here. Let's see how this 30-minute candle closes then, because here's the thing. We're so close to the new 30-minute candle at 10:30. 6 minutes left. This could just very well put in a candle 2 closure, and then we look to trade candle 3 to the upside, right? But it's also going to put in this 30-minute imbalance here. So I'd want to see how we respect that or disrespect it, obviously. But yeah, I'm interested. Still looking for longs. Gold not doing much. Still chopping. How much do I risk per trade? Right now it's about 5K. Trying to bump it up once the conditions improve. I actually took majority of my capital out of my account because I didn't want to be in a trade and like some bomb drop, some black swan event happens, some nuke gets launched, and I just get wrecked and my whole account gets drained, right? Slippage, they suspend market orders, whatever. It's happened to me before. Yeah, Juke, for sure. You see your setup play out based off your analysis, and it just moves efficiently and does exactly what you anticipated, right? How do I find the patience? It's tough. You got to have a life outside the charts. Dead ass. Set your operating hours and have a life and other things to do. As someone who does this full time, that's like something I struggle with, was like, I just want to be in front of the charts all the time and make money. But you got to know, I realize, especially like throughout this cycle, this is the toughest, most lethargic conditions, just in general, the most difficult conditions I've ever traded in my like career being full time, right? So I've learned a lot about myself, but also the fact that you don't get to choose when you make your money for the year as a trader, right? You don't get to choose when the market behaves and when it doesn't, when your system thrives, when it doesn't, right? So you just have to be prepared and be ready and identify those conditions. Some months are going to be slower than others. Like I know people who I took 3 trades last month. I know people who took 3 trades a day last month and were red or break even, right? I took 3 trades last month and I was up 5.7R. So less is more, right? It's not about pushing the button. It's about sizing heavier on the good trades you're already taking. The slippage isn't even that bad. Like if I could probably log in and show you like what the spread is right now. In low volatility, it's probably like a few ticks, you know. But that's why, like, I had 6 figures in my live account. I took majority of that out because you don't need that leverage right now. Why did I delete the post on Insta? I don't know, man. I was kind of rebranding my Instagram. I don't really. Also, I was posting. I don't know if you guys follow on there. I was posting like 20 stories a day, just like trying to document what I was doing. I was getting burnt. I think it'd be better if I just come on live, chat. But yeah, we basically just watch paint dry for 30 minutes. Yeah, you get tired of repeating the same bad habits. But like the journaling thing, I told you on TradeZilla, I tag my mistakes. After making those mistakes over and over and over again, you start to be like, damn, I keep tagging this mistake. And then you go and look at what the data says on TradeZilla, your reports, and you're like, holy crap, I've made this mistake X amount of times in the past month or two. And it's at this time of day on this asset, maybe you can see a correlation, right? You're like, I got to find out, and this is how much money it's cost me, or this is how much money I've, lost or missed out on because of it. That right there is going to tell you something's up. That's the thing. People aren't journaling the trades. They don't. How do you know what's wrong with your trading if you don't have any data to back it up, right? Most people, they think they know what's wrong with their trading, right? They have an idea, but they got no data that tells them what's actually going on. So they just go off what they feel, right? And most people, they feel a certain way in the charts, so they push a button, right? They're emotional in the charts. So you got to go off what the data says. But if you're not journaling your trades or tracking the right KPIs, the right metrics, then no wonder you're lost, right? No wonder you're making the same mistakes over and over again. And no wonder you've been in the same position you've been in for the past 4 or 5 years of your trading and haven't seen any improvement, right? Haven't made any progress. And progress isn't just about making money or your P&L or equity curve. It's about fixing and creating good habits, right? That set you up for success. That's one of the things that someone asked about my one-on-one stuff I used to do. That was the whole thing about the one-on-ones. Like the requirement was you already had to know how to trade to work with me. Like you had to know what risk management was, like R multiple, how to trade the fractal model, all the concepts. Then you could come and work with me, right? Because it's not about learning a system. That's not how you make money, right? If all it took to make money in the market was learn a system, then a lot more people will be making money as a trader. It's about the things you do outside the charts, the journaling, your daily routine, like all that stuff. How do I deal with missing a move I was anticipating all night? I was pooping at 9:30 a.m. and I missed my entry. How do I deal with missing a move? Just understand that there's going to be another move coming around the corner very soon. And if you keep dwelling on the past, you're going to miss what's happening right in front of you. There's always another bus coming around the block. All right, so it looks like ES wants this low, right? NQ probably sweep this low. If this thing just accelerates now to the downside, like, it's going to be kind of annoying. But we're on that new 30-minute candle. So, here we go. Just swept the old 30-minute candles low. Now does it want to expand? Let's see. Again, I'm looking to trade some kind of continuation, right? It'd be sick if we could close above these down close candles. It comes back up, closes above, puts in some kind of continuation for me to get long, right? With a swing, rally gap, whatever. I'll take that, you know. But let's see. Is daily key level necessary? Yeah, like I want to see us digging into like an imbalance, right? Like this day right here, we dug into this imbalance, came back up and closed below the low. That would be a POI with a C2 closure. So I was looking for longs this very next day, but that was Easter, right? Or sorry, Good Friday this day. So obviously nothing happened. We've kind of just been consolidating a bit in this range right here. Finally broke out. So yeah, I'm looking for POIs. Let's see. This new 30-minute low swept across the board, right? ES, NQ. Why I'm kind of just putting in its own structure. How many minimum trades of data required? Required for what? To like notice a pattern? Like if you taken like if I took 3 trades last month, let's say I lost every single one of those instead of winning every single one. And on each of those I made a mistake of moving my stop too soon and getting stop break even. Then that would be something like I would focus on the next month to fix, right? Don't touch my stop until I would come up with some rules, my stop management, because your inconsistent actions in the charts lead to inconsistent results. But if you have rules in place and parameters that you follow every single trade, right? You know, in regards to your stop loss, position sizing, all that, taking partials. If you follow those rules every single trade, you're going to have consistent actions. And those consistent actions are going to give you consistent results, good or bad. Do I drop below 15-minute entries if you take pre-open trades? Generally, no. The lowest I'll go is like a 5-minute. Generally. But I'm always looking for that 15-minute entry if I can. I'm trying to enter on the highest time frame possible. I'm trying to enter on the highest time frame possible for my trades. I'd much rather get in on a 15-minute than a 3-minute. But we're looking now. We want to see it close above this series of down close candles. I want to see it close above here. That's what I'm watching. And you're just not really seeing a lot of willingness for price to move in any direction either. Like we retraced a bit into those lows, and now we're kind of just consolidating down here. So I'd much rather just sit on my hands. I don't want to be in this. Unless I can frame a long and we start seeing some displacement, right? We got Tyler with the news. Yeah, I bet. Yeah, gold's down. Oil's probably up again off that. It's funny. God, it's just you gotta be nimble in the market. How many minimum trades of data required for TTFM? I say get as many as you can. Like 100 trades is a good sample size, but as someone who took 3 trades last month, like it's gonna take you like a year or more to get that, right? And those problems, right? Those are mistakes like jamming your stop too soon or FOMOing in, right? those aren't going to show up in a back test because at a back test you move at your own pace. You can skip through 1 hour candles in a second, right? So those mistakes aren't going to show up in a back test. Those show up in a live market environment. That's what's funny. It's like your back testing results are probably going to be higher than your live market results. So if you have like a 70% win rate in back testing, you're probably going to have like 50 to 60% if you execute that system flawlessly, right? Because you're still going to make mistakes. I didn't learn the fractal model until like last year, but I was trading full time before that. But I mean, the fractal model, like I knew too many ICT concepts. Like that was the problem. Those concepts are just a tool in your toolbox. The model is like going to tell you when to use those concepts, right? Like how to use them all together. Like I don't use, new week opening gap. I don't use like all those, was it Reaper IFEG? Like I don't use all that stuff. I just use highs, lows, fair value gaps, order blocks for entry. Yeah, like I'll go in on usually a 1 hour or 30 minute. I prefer the 15 minute over the 30 minute or just hour if I can. Usually if you're getting a 30 minute entry, you're probably getting a 1 hour or a 15 minute as well. And I'll just go on that time frame instead. But you're on Dow shorts. Yeah, Dow's kind of selling off a bit. There's a low right here. You could look to target. It's tiny 4 hour imbalance right there. It's funny now. It's like now the Dow's selling off, but like why now NQ's like a little stronger, holding up. So it's like they flip flopped. Strength and weakness. Like if I had to take a long right now, I'd long NQ because it's holding up now. Yeah. Like when I start seeing like tweets flood in about like, oil tankers stop, like ceasefire talks, like in the works, and those and like Trump quote, and I'm getting like Trump alerts back to back to back. Like, I'll show you what I'm talking about. I have a news feed. Like right here. Like 2 minutes ago, passage of oil tankers has been stopped, and it's just feeding me news as it happens in real time. Like when I start seeing like Trump says, that means he's talking, he's yapping on Truth Social or whatever, and it's just like, bro, really? Like, can we like chill out? Probably shouldn't be trading if he's yapping. It's looking like another no trade day, if I'm being honest. Pop out the metals and we'll see what's popping with the metals. I mean, we got 20 minutes till 11. If we get like a C2 closure on the 1 hour, maybe a 5 minute setup to the upside, Cause see how it's starting to look really messy on the 3 minute? I'm gonna bump up a time frame to get some more clarity. Trading front models a prop from trader, it takes so long just to pass an account. Because of less trades, it kind of forces me to trade. Yeah, that's the thing about prop. If I'm trying to trade, like, pass an account, I'm just going to full port that shit to pass. Like, I'm going to try and pass the account as quick as I can. Then once I'm at the live stage and can, like, get payouts and stuff, then I'll trade it legit, right? But if I'm, like, trying to just to pass an account, I'm just going to, like, be aggressive as possible. Try and pass it as quick as possible. That's the thing about trading prop versus personal funds. It's a completely different approach. Like, I would never full port my live account on a trade. Yeah, I just got heavy AF, depending on the firm and their rules. Like, what's your goal too with the prop account? Are you trying to learn with some risk on, with a little skin in the game? Or are you trying to pass it so you can get to the funding stage because you already know what you're doing? And then get payouts. Like, where are you? It depends on where you are in your journey, what your goal is with the account. Because if you're just looking to learn a little bit about yourself with some skin in the game, then I would just say practice trading it, normally. But if you're past that and you're like you're collecting payouts and you're looking to just get through accounts and stack them, just pass them as quick as possible. Like, one thing you can do is do like an exponential risk curve. So like, so you start out here, right? You bought the account. So you win a trade, right? Increase your risk, double it. So you win that trade, double your risk again. So you lose that trade when you cut it in half, right? So you lose that, cut it in half again. So you lose that next one, cut it in half again. Let's say you win that one, double it. So like, you're on this exponential risk curve. I get rid of this. Basically, the more you lose, you're cutting your risk in half. The more you win, you're doubling it. That's one way to do it. Shit is not looking like it wants to behave. We'll see what happens at 11. 15 more minutes. But as always, if you guys are enjoying the stream, let me know by hitting a like. It helps me out, helps the stream out. And we're going to be doing some giveaways here soon. I have some things planned. Maybe some TradeZilla stuff. Maybe some prop firm stuff. Maybe some indicator stuff. So just know that if you're here, we only got about 50 something people in here right now. And if I'm giving away, prop firm accounts and indicators and TradeZilla stuff, like, you have a 1 in 50 chance. But if you're in someone else's stream and they got 1,000 people watching, you probably got a 1 in 1,000 chance. So where are your odds? What are your odds? Where are they better? They're better here, But Anonymous, I hope you answer your question with that exponential like risk curve thing, the sizing with the prop challenges. Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, I think we might try and do some indicator. I haven't really talked with them yet. It's on my to-do list. We did a giveaway on my Instagram, I want to say a month back. Gave away 3 fractal model indicators. So gonna try and do some prop stuff for those of you who trade prop. Maybe some TradeZella stuff as well for those who want to try out TradeZella. I mean, not much going on. I mean, we're kind of starting to sell off. Not getting that reversal that we wanted off these lows. So it's been a pretty slow sell off too. Like compare what we're seeing to that 15-minute trade that I shared with you guys from last month. Asia lows. And you guys are quick with it. Asia low in the chat. Yeah. Asia low is this 1 hour imbalance. 4 hour, 1 hour. So we're in that. Will be crazy. What would be awesome if like the next minute kind of just closed down here, right? And then green candle, you know, real quick up to this opening price, right? That would be dope. And that would give us a candle to closure on the hourly to trade the 11 o'clock candle to the highs, right? After finally sweeping out Asia low, London low. So in my opinion, like this would be daily profile wise a New York reversal, or maybe even the New York manipulation. Because why? Well, this is all consolidation in my opinion. This move up. Consolidation doesn't have to be completely sideways, horizontal, right? It can be something like this, and we've come down and swept all that out, right? Took out key time-based liquidity in a 1 hour POI. So this is pretty much like the last hope for my interest this morning for longs. If it doesn't play out, then I'm probably just gonna call it. Silver down. These are tricky because it's like, let's say you wanted to short this candle 2 closure on silver. Go to the 5 minute. Yep, boom, it marks it out. Candle 2 closure. You want to trade this new candle, right? I just don't like how long it took to close below here, right? Because technically, you know, you have this imbalance. Great. You'd put your stop here. Here. Why is it so small? The hell? Oh, that's... Put your stop here. Wrong tool. And generally, you want to see it close, you know, this candle close below. But I don't like how it consolidated, right? Because now it just looks like a consolidation. Right? And it could easily sweep this low, then go higher, you know? So, like, it just took too long to close below here. So, like, realistically, you might be like, oh, it's a missed setup. But, like, realistically, in real time, I probably wouldn't have taken that short. And that's not even considering what the higher time frame is saying. You know, I was just looking at the price action on the 5 minute and the 1 hour. Yeah, super late. I'm telling you, sometimes I've seen it just be super lethargic through the open, And then around 11 o'clock, someone flips the switch and it just starts running through lunch into the afternoon. Like that happens. It's like someone woke the market up late this morning. Oh my. I'm about to hit the gym later. That's the thing too. If you're not hitting the gym to like clear your head, what are you doing? You got to get active. Get outside. Get off these screens, especially when the market's being, annoying. You got to get outside. Got to have a life outside the charts. Keeps you from thinking about this all day. Yeah, I mean, this just looks like buns. I mean, why I'm selling off. You're about to have that candle 3 closure on YM here in a second. Next 6 minutes. It'd be interesting to see how we react once YM takes this low out. Does that allow us now to reverse on these assets? What was one thing that you did or changed to help you become profitable and to break out of your drawdown or break even stage? Good question. Honestly, closing like social media or just being process focused. Like I remember I used to get dopamine from pressing the button, right? But eventually when you focus on the process and you just focus on whether I followed my rules or not each day, which is why journaling is a big thing. That's why I showed you guys the TradeZilla. You'll realize that like when you're going through and you're writing down, did I follow my process? You're checking the boxes. You're reviewing. You're like, hey, I did everything I could today. I traded to the best of my ability today. Followed all my rules to the best of my ability. And whatever happens, happens. You start spiking dopamine from following your process instead of pushing the button, right? Or winning trades. So when I made the switch to that, that's what allowed me to kind of not really care what other people are doing, right? On social media, to my left or right. That's kind of what helped me kind of get to the next level. And it's funny, at each level, like there's like 5 stages of trading, really. Losing a lot, losing a little, break even, making a little, making a lot of money. And at each one of those stages, there's like new stuff that you have to overcome to get to the next stage, right? And in the beginning, losing a lot, losing a little, probably just you have no edge, right? You need to learn a strategy. And then from losing a little to break even, you probably know your strategy, but you're not following it, right? There's mistakes you're making. Then from breaking even to making a little, still there's new things that you have to overcome. So what do they say? New levels, new devils, right? That's what that means. Yeah, tomorrow could be a good day for bullish continuation. I mean, now it's just starting to sell off. We'll see how the afternoon plays out, the structure it puts in, and then the overnight as well. And still, like, depending on how today goes, I still like these highs up here. You gotta remember, we just hit this high, right? Just hit this high. We had a huge overnight move off some news. So yeah, maybe we'll get some kind of candle 4 continuation out of here. Yeah, we could consolidate tomorrow too. Who knows, right? You really need to see what the um one news calendar. We do have 8:30 news tomorrow, which is nice. The CPI on Friday. But you do need to see what the overnight session does. Like, what kind of daily profile are we forming, if any? Is it aligning with my bias? I mean, shoot, if we were respecting these projections right here at this high, why don't we come up here and get these? Yeah, mess. Way to bounce back. Okay, so I talked about this low, remember, on YM. What can we do once we hit it? And now you're starting to see a reaction on the other indices as well. So 11 o'clock right around the corner. And like realistically, I don't see any kind of like, even if I wanted to go short, I don't see really anything that I would have liked. Except maybe like there's a tiny imbalance right here on this 5 minute, right? And then maybe enter off the candle 4, 5 minute to go lower. But I'd be fitting my bias if I did that. Hmm. All right. 15 seconds till new 1 hour. Yeah, I just don't see like any that 1 hour imbalance here. I still see us like we're like having any more juice to go higher, you know? After seeing this downside move, how slow it is. Unless we get some kind of news. I kind of just feel like we're gonna maybe this might be the consolidation low. This might be the high, and we kind of just stay in between it now. Rest of the day, that could definitely happen. There's no, we need a sweep of this new low on a 30 minute, on a 1 hour. Otherwise, I'm not interested in a long. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. I don't really see. We're kind of getting towards the end of like the morning session. I don't really see any reason to kind of sit here and watch it anymore. Even if it does, go higher. I don't want to hold through lunch. It's just the day. It just seems like the day's already played out. I was hoping for some kind of quick retracement to go higher. We didn't get that. We kind of got a deeper retracement that took its sweet time to go lower. So now it's already 11 o'clock in the morning. We're getting towards the cutoff time for my operating hours anyways. So I think what we're going to do is call it here, see how the overnight plays out. Maybe I'll put out a video, tonight with some like post-market analysis if it's juicy enough and worth talking about, to kind of tease what I'm thinking about going into tomorrow. So we'll see how the rest of the day plays out. And maybe it does pump PM session. If it does, it's going to do so without me. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the stream. It helps in the world of algorithms and, things like that. But also, don't forget to subscribe. Get a new notification every time I go live. So, appreciate you guys for stopping in. I'm going to hit the gym. See you guys on the next stream.